So this is a tutorial on how to install different versions, multiple versions of Python, and it also shows you how to switch between those versions for your needs. So the first thing we'll do is, oh, by the way, this is Ubuntu 20.0.4. So, and this will also apply for other previous versions of Ubuntu. So the first thing we want to do is check our current version. So we'll do a Python 3 version, and we have Python 3.82. Now what we can do is check if we have other versions of Python installed. So we'll do an ls user local lib and we can grep for Python, and we only have Python 3.8 installed on our system. So, and there's other things which we can do when checking for versions. We can say which Python 3 for the binary location, and we can also do a where is Python 3, and we can also do a type Python 3. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to install Python version 3.7.5. So we want to downgrade, but we don't want to overwrite our existing Python 3.82. We want both of those versions to coexist, and we want to be able to switch between them. So first thing we'll do, we'll install some essential libraries, but because we're on 20.04, we don't necessarily need to install quite a few. We just need to check for one, which is the allows for the compiler. So we can do a sudo apt install build essential, and it's quite likely that we have this installed already. It's already installed, so we're okay. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a folder because I'm going to install directly from source and compile. So I'm going to catch that file in a directory which I'll create, and I'll call that and I'm going to install it in my home directory, and I'll call that Python source files. Just put another hyphen in between source and files, and then what I'll do, I will download it from the source for version 3.75 directly from the official Python repository, and that allows me to downloading it from this particular repository allows me to get any version, previous version, or recent version that I need. So that's why I'm doing it this way, getting it from source. So that's wget, and I'll download that to the directory that I've just created. And I'll just put in the address. And the version that I need. And the actual compressed file. Okay, I think that looks okay. Just double check that. Just double check that address. .75 Python. Okay, there's a small error. Get rid of that extra hyphen. Okay, and I think that's okay. So it's downloading. Okay, so that was quite quick. So I'll just cd into that folder I've created. And I'll list out the contents of that folder. Okay, so there we can see the source file has downloaded. And now what I'll do, I'll unpack that file. Okay, and before I unpack, I'll just explain what these mean. So X means extract, Z is unzip, V is print the progress, verbose, and F is the following argument is a file name. So that's what that is, and that just unzips the file. So I'll unzip. Okay, so the next thing I will do is configure. No, sorry, I beg your pardon. The next thing I'll do, I'll just go into the folder where I need to configure. Okay, so I'm now in the folder and I can configure, and what I'll do, I'll enable optimizations. Okay, I think that looks good. I'll just widen this window a bit. Okay, so that's now compiled, and then finally what I'll do is a sudo make alt install. Now purpose of, I mean, usually what you would do, sorry, I just made a mistake, what you would do would be sudo make install, but we won't do this for additional versions of Python, and the reason for that is because we don't want to overwrite the default system Python library, so we just want to create an alternative. So just give that a while. Just take a little bit longer. Almost there. Almost there. I could actually stop this and just skip it, but for the sake of you guys doing everything that I'm doing, I'm just letting it roll and just letting you see everything. Or if you like, you could just forward through this. Okay, that's now done. So let's check our version of Python. And there you can see we've got Python 3.7.5. And what we'll do, we can just check the versions installed. And there you can see we have 3.7 and 3.8. But however, if I do Python 3 version, you'll see that it defaults to 3.82. So there are two ways in which we can do this. We can, from a user point of view, we can point towards 3.7, but that's not really going to be ideal for our needs, because what we want to do, we want to make this change system-wide, and we want to be able to easily flip between 3.7 and 3.8 or any other version that we need to. So the way we're going to do that, by setting up alternatives. So we'll do a where is Python 3.7, and we can see that we've got a location for it. Now to narrow that down, we can say type a Python 3.7, and you can see it's in user local bin Python 3.7. So now what we want to do, we want to set up alternatives. So we'll do sudo update alternatives install user bin Python 3 user local bin Python 3.7, and then we want to make that number 1. Just open that a little bit more. So just double check that. That looks okay. Yep. Yep. So this is the path where it is, and we'll just set that. And then the next thing we need to do, we need to do that one more time for version 3.8. So sudo update alternatives install user bin Python 3 user bin Python 3.8, and we'll set that to 2. So let's double check that. So this is the location for the current default version of Python, and we're setting that as another alternative. So just say OK. Now to switch between the versions, we'll just do a sudo update alternatives config Python 3. Okay, so here you can see we now have those options which we can flip between, and we can always come back to this and flip between 3.8 and 3.7. So currently we can see that 3.8 is in auto mode, so that's the default version, and we want to press number 2 for Python 3.7. So that's now set. So what we can do now to double check that is a Python 3 version, and our version of Python is now default set to 3.75. So I hope that helps. Cheers.